Hey, good morning. Keith and Amy here. Glad you could join us this morning. Thanks for opening our video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more. Doing our best to show you some fun things and things we're doing. So this morning we are at the Oconaluftee Indian Village here in Cherokee, North Carolina. So Amy, can you tell us a little bit about what the Indian Village is?
I vaguely remember I came here as a child. It's like a village that's got a living history. They wear traditional clothes and do some traditional dances and just show us the way of life back in the Cherokee Nation.
All right, so let's go take a look.
This right here is finger weaving. We have three types of weaves we would have done. The first one is our single weave. It's an over and under method, and you use patterns like this. We also got a double weave. They would do it on a loom today, but they can do it by hand. And the double weave will give you patterns like the eagle dances, diamonds, and the thunderbolt. And the last method we have is going to be the oldest method. It's going to be before we have the yarns like you see here, we would have to use buffalo fur like this. Buffaloes did roam this area up till about the 1790s, and then they were killed off due to the fur trade. This is the oblique method, and instead of the colors making your pattern, it's the beads you weave in here that would make your pattern.
Beautiful.
We also had plant fibers we could take, native hemp, and we can weave ropes out of them like this. And they can work with 10 to 200 strands of yarn at a time. This one right here is the example of 200 strands. They'll make a lot of these and then sew them together for blankets and shawls. You can see here, we got modern beads, glass beads, metal needles, flex thread. All that's good, but before we had all that stuff, we would have to make our own beads, either out of clay, like this, or we had to trade for some shells from the coast, and corn beads. Job's tears is another word for it. We grew these in the garden next to the corn. That's why they say corn beads. Instead of metal needles, we would have to use bone. So you see the deer hoof here where it's straight, and we break it. As soon as it breaks, it splinter off some bone fragments here, and we'll make needles like this out of them.
Oh my.
We were very limited on what we could do with copper. We didn't have metal tools before the European arrival, so we were very limited on what we could do with the copper. So we could only do like cones and very limited stuff with it. We have two types of beadwork. One would be the scroll method, and this would be for decorations down the sides of men's pants and the bottom of women's dresses. And we have the solid method, like you see here. And the way you would start, you would pick up one bead at a time, and then you would sew it to the next bead. The thread will pass through the beads twice, so it's very strong. And if a bead fell out or it can't park anywhere, you could easily go there and repair it.
Do you mind if I take your picture?
Oh, go ahead. Excuse me. This right here is going to be our pottery portion of our tour. And the way we would start our pottery is we would go by the riverbank, dig about a foot down, and start harvesting the clay from there. Once we got the clay, we'd bring it back to the village, start processing it, getting all the sticks and stones out of it. And when we got that and it's ready to make pottery, we'll have two types of ways to make it. One would be the ball method. You're going to roll it into a ball, take your thumbs, push through to the middle, and start forming it with your outer finger. Or you could use the pool method. You lay a disc of clay down, then you start cooling the clay around it till you get the desired height. And when you got your desired heights on there, you got your pots made up, and you can start putting your patterns in. And you can see the various sharpened sticks here, even a deer antler, and even a seashell like this could help you put the designs into your clay. This is wood carving. You can see over here he's using a knife, modern tool, sandpaper, chisels, all that good stuff. These are what these mats were made out of. But before we had all that good stuff, we would have to make them out of bee's nest like this, or out of soft bark like this. And we grew gourds in our gardens, but we didn't eat these gourds, but they served many purposes. We can make masks out of them. You can see the water dippers, rattle, bird's nest, and even bowls like this. This is mountain cane. This will grow higher in the elevation of the mountains, and it'll get a little bit bigger than this. And this will be our fork. Nothing went to waste in the build, so if you killed an animal, you would have to use every part of it. So like a horn would become our spoon. And we were gardeners. Most of our diet came from the gardens we had. So we had hoes like this back then. This is flint rock, so if you hit a rock harder than that, it would chip and break. So you'd have to stop and repair that. This is sinew, this is rhododendron for the handle, and it ties it all together here. But when we started trading with the Europeans, we started getting metal tools, durable tools. Lasted a lot longer. And since we got metal tools, we can start carving silverware like that. The river cane basket, you can see there's double weave here, and that means you start from the bottom, you weave it all the way to the top, and you weave it all back down again. And it's a much tighter weave, and you would put stuff like you wouldn't want to get wet. Personal stuff we want to keep dry, that's what would go in baskets like this, because they were waterproof, because they were so tight. And if you want to waterproof it anymore, you could put beeswax on the inside and outside, and it would waterproof it further. And you can see the different colors on there. You can see the oranges, the browns in there. We did that. We can change the color of our splints by using a root like bloodroot. Gives you an orange color. Yellow root gives you a nice yellow color. Or butternut, give you a black color. Or walnut. Oh, this is a walnut, give you a brown color. And butternut will give you a black color. And all you would do is you'll get your splints up like you see over here. Oh, they're tied up and stuff. You get them wrapped up, put them in boiling water, boil it for about a week, and let all the colors get onto your splints. And once you're done, these will stay on there forever. It won't fade or nothing because of natural dye. This right here is going to be our weapons. You can see this is where we make arrowheads. One, you see flint rock through the stations here. Flint rock we use as arrowheads as well. This comes from the Tennessee, Kentucky area. And the Cherokees inhabit this area, so we just trade it with the other Cherokees out that way. Or you could use volcanic glass, obsidian like this. Very sharp, you could be working with it and you look down and you bleed. That's how sharp it is, you won't feel it. And all you're going to do to start the process is get your old river rock, smash one of these rocks, and then you're going to grab it up and get you another river rock like that, and you're going to start napping. And what napping does, you're just going to sit here and do this. And as you do that, it's going to break off little bits and pieces, and that's going to give you that basic arrowhead shape. When you get that basic arrowhead shape, they use nails today, but back then they would use antlers. And what they would do is they would pressure flake the edge here. So they'll just sit here and put pressure on it. As they put pressure on it, it's going to flake off a little bit and it's going to make it sharp and give you the cutting edge you need to go through skin and hide. And it also gives you the notches to tie it to the shaft here. And two types of arrowheads you would have made, it would be the square shoulder. This would be for warfare. And as this went into your body, come in contact with your blood, this sinew is going to start swelling up, start coming apart. So when you grab the shaft, you're going to try to pull it out. These hooks right here are going to dig in and it's going to come on off. So you don't want to pull it this way. What you want to do is push it. So you're going to grab it and push it through to the other side and get it out. This one right here is going to be for hunting. It's the round shoulder. You could easily shoot this into an animal, easily retrieve it, keep on using it. Mountain cane for the shafts here, turkey feathers for the back end. And then right here would be your bow. It'd be as tall as you were. So if you were making your bow and you're 5 foot, your bow would be 5 foot. If you're 6 foot, your bow would be 6 foot. It'd be tailored to you so nobody can pick it up for war and use it against you. It'd be yellow locust and bear intestines has been dried out for the string. Very strong stuff. We would use bows and arrows for retreat. We didn't like to use them in warfare. We like to use our war clubs like this. About as big as your forearm here. Hickory, oak, these are very strong woods. That would be typically what they'd be made out of. And it'd be up to the person who was carving it, put their own touches on there, their own design, the way they wanted it. Or you could just find an old reach system that's been knotted up and make you one out of that. Elk, deer, bear, all that good stuff. These are 1/3 size, so these will be a lot bigger. So these sharpened posts will go all the way around until it left the opening. And that opening, we would go in here, put the food down. This log right here would be 5 times the size. So it'll be propped up with something. The food would be propped up right here, and the bear come in here, knock this stick out of the way, bring it down on top of it, crushing it to death. Or pinning him there until we get back to finish the job. And this is going to be for your big game. Every village was built along the river, fresh water, and fishing. These will be placed along the rivers. You can see how it works. You got the opening here, and you can see those flaps. So when the fish go in, the flaps will open, let them in, and they'll close right back behind them. So when they turn around to go out that way, the sharpened sticks will stop them, and they don't open that way. Anybody in the village can come here, open this up, get what they needed, and go back and eat it. They also had another method, is like they would pawn up something like this, herd the fish into there, and then start dropping walnut juice in there. The walnut juice will paralyze the fish, and they'll float right to the top, and you could easily go out there and start grabbing them. Then about 5 minutes later, they'll go back to normal, swimming around and all that. But if you use hickory nut juice, it will kill them. It's poison to the fish. So it has to be walnut juice. We're going to look at 3 houses, and we're going to go back through time. We're going to start from the 1800s and go all the way back to the 1540s. This is going to be from the 1800s. It's going to be during the French and Indian War. British soldiers are looking for Cherokee villages to burn down. So we stopped building them the old way and started building them like this as a type of camouflage. So when the English settlers were coming through, they were seeing houses like this, thinking it was another settlement, and they would usually move on. But if they did find Cherokees living here, they just come back and burn it down. That's why they chose this setup right here. Very simple setup. You notch the logs, you stack them on top of each other. You got clay in between there, mix with some bear fur or some hay to keep it together. And this house could be built in a week. Because it was getting burned down, they could put it back up within a week or 2. These are going to be our original homes. This is going to be from the 1540s, and this is going to be the first contact we have with Europeans. It's going to be by a man of Hernando de Soto. He's a Spanish explorer. He's going through the Alabama, Georgia area looking for gold. He hears about the Cherokee playing with the yellow rock, so he goes to investigate. It's copper we had, not gold. He gets pretty mad about that. He's a pretty brutal man. He starts killing people in the villages and stuff like that. But he starts documenting everything he sees. When he first made contact with the Cherokees, the men were 7 foot tall and the women were 6'5". And they were pretty tall people. He called it the land of the giants when he got here. And he found us living in clay houses like this. And when you go in, you're going to see how it starts out. You're going to see how the posts go into the ground, more go across. As soon as you got your basic framework up, you would start weaving this all around your house, all the way to the ground. And then you would bring your clay and start smearing it on here. And you can see it's a lot different than in those houses. The fireplace is at the center of the house instead of off to the side. And it's simple. We just got beds and a fireplace. We used our house just to sleep and get out of the weather. We're mostly gardeners, so we was always outside doing something. They'd be thatch roofing like this. This is why they were burning the houses down easy. They would just start at the top and burn them down. That's why we stopped building them this way and started building them like that. Spare canoes, we did trade with people in Texas, Canada, and we would use the river systems. Because if you had to walk all them places, it would take years to get there and back. So we would use our canoes. The way we would start it, we'd go by the riverbank and we'd find a yellow poplar. That'd be a good sized poplar. When we found the right one, we'd bring some clay over and some wood, because we didn't have chainsaws or axes or anything like that. So we brought the clay over, measured about a foot up, put the clay ring about a foot up, then start building the file below it. This is how we cut the trees down. And the clay ring stopped it from climbing the tree and started burning in. As soon as we got it down, we would drag it over here, get some more clay, and start mapping out where we wanted to sit. This is the trading post. This is where we start getting metal tools, beads, and all that. Before you start buying anything here, you're gonna need one thing: buckskin. And this is the currency. $5, $10, this is where the term's going to come from, because this is the currency. So the first thing the Cherokees will buy would be guns. It would be 65 for a good gun, and you can start tripling your fur intakes, and you can start going hunting by yourself. You didn't need a hunting party. You would buy your bullets here, you buy your gunpowder, everything you need for the gun would be sold here. And once we started getting furs and stuff, we can bring them back and get pots, pans like you see here, silverware, made out of metal, very durable. When you drop it, it would withstand the drop. Clay breaks, wood breaks if you dropped it, so metal was very durable and they locked that. And Cherokees were into that. Whatever made life easier, they locked. Especially cloth like this. Buckskin was hot. When it got wet, it won't lose its shape and stuff. With cloth like this, you can make a lot of stuff out of it. And it's lightweight, breathable, and it dries fast. And this is where, like I said, we start getting beads, like you see here.
7 is a sacred number to the Cherokee, so we also have 7 clans. We have Paint, Bird, Deer, Wild Potato, Long Hair, Wolf, and Blue. And each one of these sections is designated for a specific clan, and only members of that clan can sit there. We are a matriarchal society. We have a homicidal squirrel. And we are a matriarchal society, so everything gets passed down through the female, so you get your clan from your mother. I was born Deer because my mother is Deer, my grandmother is Deer, and so on and so forth. And because clans are considered large families within a village, you're not allowed to marry within your own clan. So when you decide to take a spouse, you have to pick someone from one of the other 6 families or other 6 clans. For instance, whenever I got married, I married a man from the Bird clan, and because we are matriarchal, when he married me, he took my clan, and our children are my clan. Now my boys, whenever they go off and get married, they will take their wife's clan, and their children will be her clan. Now in the center of the room is our fireplace, and this fire is of such importance to us that it's never allowed to go out. In fact, there are 2 men stationed in here whose only job in the village is to make sure that this fire burns at all times. And should it go out, they would actually be put to death. Wow. On the outside is our 7-pointed wooden star. Each point corresponds with a specific clan, and the wood itself represents that each clan is responsible for bringing a specific type of wood to feed this fire over the course of the year. The Cherokees that are out west are 2 completely separate tribes from us now. They are the Cherokee Nation and the United Kadua Band, and we are the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians, because we are the descendants of the ones who refused to leave. So when the soldiers came to round us up, we fled from the mountains and hid. And because of the sacrifice of a man named Solly and his sons, they decided to leave us alone. So we took what money we could get together and gave to Will Thomas, because at this point in U.S. history, Native Americans were not allowed to own property. Will Thomas being a white man could. But he also just happened to be one of us, because he was the adopted son of Drowning Bear, also known as John Augusta. So he purchased this land here for us. So we technically are not a reservation because we own our land. It wasn't issued to us by the federal government. Then in 1924, when we became U.S. citizens, we placed our land in trust to the government. And what this means is that our land can never be sold to outsiders. It can only be sold amongst ourselves, and it can only be leased for up to 25 years at a time. We're a sovereign nation, so it's kind of like we're our own country within the United States. We have our own judicial system, our own healthcare system, and our own school system. And although we choose to go by the state curriculum in our schools, we do add our own history and culture as well. We also have an immersion school where children from 6 months up to middle school can go, and they're spoken to in nothing but Cherokee all day long. And the parents of those children also take classes so that they may be able to speak their native tongue at home. We're a completely self-sustaining nation, so we require no assistance from the U.S. government. But as you guys came through the village here today, I'm sure that you were probably told that we do not have a word in Cherokee for goodbye. So I will say Dedadaga, which means until we meet again, because we do believe that even if we don't meet again in this life, we may see it again in the next one. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your